It's unlocked.
And you can hear my phone. So today, as I said, we are going to talk about.
నువ్వు కాల్ కట్ చేయి చెప్తా సార్ మీరు మీ ఆడియోని మ్యూట్ చేసుకోవాలి సార్ ఎవరో తెలియదు కానీ
Can you lock it from your end only?
Okay, I'll do that.
This thing is going to be there. People don't understand. Done? Okay. Am I audible? Uma, you can just keep.
Yeah, you're audible.
Zoom. The host would like you to unmute. Window. Meeting controls window.
Okay. Now is it okay? Uma, you had unmuted.
Yeah, you're audible.
So today what we are going to do is we are going to talk about how to connect your phone, your smartphone, with an external keyboard or a Bluetooth keyboard and convert your phone into a mini laptop. Why do you need to do this? When we normally use our smartphones, in normal circumstances, we are able to do quite a few things using the touch. But we are not able to do certain complex things such as reading long documents, reading Excel files, reading word by word in a PDF file, reading spelling by spelling, or typing, formatting long documents as we would do using our computers. So these are the major limitations that most of the blind have when using a touch phone. Typing, one of the biggest challenges. So today what we're going to do is we are going to use the power of touch and the speed of typing to make our smartphone a very powerful device. So I'm using Moto G6 for this demonstration, and I have connected it with a normal physical keyboard, the keyboard that comes with your computer, a USB keyboard with a simple OTG. You can also do the same, as I said earlier, using a Bluetooth keyboard. That is also possible, but to keep cost low, I'm going to demonstrate it using a 300 rupees keyboard and a 40 rupees OTG cable. When you connect your phone with the keyboard, only the first time you might receive a message, and that message would be in the notification area icon right at the top, where it will tell you to allow the keyboard, or it will tell you to select the keyboard. That is all that you need to do. Just tap on it and the rest all will be done. So now we're going to talk about these keyboard commands. First, we'll understand how to navigate within the home screen environment, the main screen environment, not the notification, not the favorites, which is at the bottom, but in the main screen environment area. So obviously you'll have to go left, right, up or down in the main screen area because it is designed like a table. It's designed like a grid view. So in grid view, there is something to your right, something above you, something below you, something to your left. So your arrow keys are going to be the most important keys here. But remember one thing, that only arrow key is not going to work in your Android phone. Most of the key commands, 95% of the key commands will have Alt used in combination with other things. So Alt right arrow, Alt up arrow, Alt left arrow is going to take you everywhere. Now, if you want to go directly to the first cell, the top left cell or the top left icon on your home screen, then you press Alt Control left arrow. So Alt Control left arrow is going to take you right in the top left corner home screen, not the notification, not where your clock or your battery is there, but just below that in the main area icon. So I'm going to press Alt Control left arrow.
Times now.
And the icon you hear was Times Now, which is there on the top left side of my phone. Now if I press Alt right arrow, it should take me one icon to the right of Times Now, and which is BBC. In my case, I'm pressing Alt right arrow.
BBC iPlayer Radio.
So you heard that. If I press Alt left arrow, I should go back to Times Now.
Times Now.
Now let me try Alt down arrow, which should take me to the icon which is exactly below Times Now, that is in row 2. Row 2, column 1. That is where my focus should go. If I press Alt down arrow from here.
NDTV News has one notification.
So that is NDTV News. If I press Alt up arrow, it should bring me back to Times Now.
Times Now. Email, Facebook, a friend.
So this is how you can navigate on the home screen using your Alt plus your arrow keys as a combination. To go to the top left cell, you need to add control to that. That means Alt, control, left arrow will take you to the top left corner. Similarly, Alt, control, right arrow is going to take you to the bottommost cell in the home screen. And I'm pressing Alt, control, right arrow.
Phone.
So phone is there in the bottom right corner. Now bottom right corner means not the main home screen area, but bottom right of your favorites row. So the last icon on your screen, it is going to take you there. Alt, control, right arrow. Alt, control, left arrow, first icon on the screen. Alt, control, right arrow, last icon on the screen. Now, there are two more commands left here. Alt, control, up arrow and down arrow. Now, if I press Alt, control, up arrow, listen to it, what it happens.
Battery 74% lock screen.
So it's taken me into the notification area. My focus has gone up in the notification area. Now, if I press Alt right arrow or left arrow, it will move within the notification area. I'm pressing Alt right arrow. So this is the last on the right, so I can move left now here.
No phone. 4G.
I'm using Alt left arrow.
Phone 1 bar. Wi-Fi 3 bar. Bluetooth connected. Cast notification casting. Logcat background notification. Outlook notification 2. LinkedIn notification. NDTV News note 3:14 p.m.
And this is the first in the notification area icon, that is the time. So it cannot move left from here. So I'll have to again go right if I want to move in the notification area. This is not taking me in the main notification. This is just telling me the status over here. I'll show you what happens when you go exactly in the notification area. It will open up all the Wi-Fi and all those settings will also be open. We'll do that later. Now, if I want to use Alt control down arrow, Alt control down arrow will bring me back exactly on the same icon from where we pressed Alt control up arrow. Now, remember, we were on phone when we pressed Alt control up arrow. So if I press Alt control down arrow, it should bring me back to the phone.
Phone home screen 104.
And it brought me back to the phone screen. Now, if I want to go to the actual notification area icons, notification is N. So I will have to press Alt control N to go to the notification area icons. The previous command, Alt control up arrow, only took me into the status bar. But if I want to go to the notification, I'm pressing Alt control N.
Notification shade. 3:15 p.m. notification shade.
Now if I press Alt right arrow.
Battery 73%. Wednesday the 22nd of July. Bluetooth connected. Wi-Fi 3 bars. Phone 1 bar. 4G.
You see, you are in the quick settings.
No phone. On Wi-Fi 3. On mobile data, Vodafone. Off hotspot switch.
So now if I want to turn on hotspot over here, I can do it immediately by pressing Alt Enter. Enter will not work. Alt Enter. Remember, Alt will always be there with all the keys that you press. So this is the notification icon. Now if I want to go back to the home screen, I'll press Alt Control H. H for home screen.
Home screen 104. Phone home screen 104.
And again, my focus came back to the exact same spot, phone, from where I had gone into the notification area. So this is basically about navigating on the home screen. So just to repeat, Alt with left, right, up arrow, down arrow will take you within the grid. First icon on the left, top left is Alt Control left arrow. Last icon is Alt Control right arrow. Just to go to the notification area icon or the status bar, just Alt Control up arrow. Come down again, Alt Control down arrow. Go to the main notification area with the quick settings and all that, Alt Control N for notification. Come back to the home, Alt Control H. Very simple. Now, if I want to change.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Who's that?
Hello.
Sir, you have to mute yourself, sir. The session is currently going on. You can ask anything if you want to after the session is done. I mean,
Sir, sound is not coming. That talkback sound I am not able to hear. Only sir's voice I am hearing. I will not but able to hear the sound.
If you are using phone and your screen is off, you will not hear the sound of the talkback. Keep your phone unlocked. If you are using Zoom from the phone, you will have to keep your phone unlocked. Otherwise, you will not hear the screen share. Keep it unlocked. You will be able to hear it.
What, sir? If on phone?
so if you are using your phone, if you turn off your screen and just hear the audio, you'll not be able to hear the screen share. You'll not be able to hear the talkback. You have to keep your phone unlocked to hear the talkback.
Your display should be on.
Yes.
Okay. Let's
Sir, your voice is breaking. I'm not understanding what is little bit I am understanding.
Please rejoin the meeting. We are absolutely clear it is your network which is bad. Rejoin the meeting. Leave and rejoin.
Sir, on phone we have to on the screen on the
Yes, that's
mode
it. You have
power
to on the screen and
that you
you
are
should
saying.
be able to hear.
WhatsApp checking for new messages.
Okay. Now, if you want to change the home screen, then there are two suggestions here. Since we all have, I'm hearing somebody's NVIDIA. So if we are using only the keyboard, that is not the right way to go. You have to use a combination of touch and type. There are certain things which are very quick when you use your touchpad. For example, 2-finger right to left swipe will change your screen. Now, if the same thing I want to do using my keypad, I have to go to the last icon in the main grid, and from the last icon, I'll have to press Alt right arrow, then that will take me to home screen 2. I'm still hearing somebody's NVDA. Please, can somebody be decent enough to use headphones or mute? Okay. So let me do it first with my keyboard. My focus, I'll bring it right to the bottom right. I'll just check. Alt Control right arrow.
Phone.
I'm on phone. That is in the favorites. So if I press Alt right arrow, nothing will happen. I'm pressing Alt right arrow now. Nothing happens. Now if I press Alt up arrow,
Suniliv.
it has come to the last icon in the grid. And now from here, if I press Alt right arrow,
Chirag Mobaji call. Home screen 204.
it said home screen 204. If I press Alt left arrow, it will come back to Suniliv.
Suniliv. Home screen 104.
This is home screen 104. But I have to do so many keystrokes. Alt Control right arrow to go to the bottom, then Alt up arrow to come to the last icon in the grid, and then Alt right arrow to change the home screen. Other than that, what I can do is use my 2-finger swipe on the phone, because the phone is connected and it is lying right next to me. So I have to be a little smart in
Email Dr. Prasannalenka re.
I have to be smart in how I use it. Okay, now we're going to talk about certain applications, and we'll be showing you how easy it is to use these applications. I'll start with calculator. I'm just going to press Alt Control left arrow to go to the top.
Times now.
And my calculator is in this row on the right side. So I'm going to press Alt right arrow.
BB. Calculator.
And there it is. So I'm going to press Alt enter to open calculator.
Calculator. No formula calculator.
And it says no formula. Now imagine if you're only using your touch. That means you'll have to swipe your finger to identify the number, then double tap, then swipe your finger again, find the another number, then double tap. It's a very slow process. Now if I use my keyboard, I'm just going to turn on my num lock. I'm going to press num lock on.
Num lock on.
And now say for example, I'm pressing 501.
5, 0, 1,
I'm pressing,
501 end of
I'm
field.
pressing plus.
Plus, 501 plus end of
I'm
field.
pressing 784.
7, 8, 4, 501 plus 784 end of
I'm
field.
pressing minus.
1285. Minus, 501 plus 784 minus.
I'm pressing
End of field.
17.
1285. 1, 5, 7, 501 plus 784 minus.
I'm pressing,
17 end of field.
I'm pressing
1268.
equals.
NDTV News. I am not Donald Trump. What I'd have.
I'm pressing equals.
1268. Equals.
I'm pressing multiply.
1268 end of field. 1268. 1268 end of field. 5, 6,340.
And you got your results. So this is so simple, so quick as anybody else can do. So this was the first piece of demonstration for an application which becomes very easy, very fast when you combine it with your keyboard. Now we want to close calculator. So for closing or going back from any application or any screen, the command is Alt Control Backspace. So I'm going to use Alt Control Backspace, which will bring me back to the home screen.
More options button.
Sorry,
6,340.
I got stuck a little.
Home screen 1 of 4.
There it is.
Calculator. Home screen 1 of 4.
And I'll come back to the home screen. Now let us try and do some more applications like Google Docs or Google Sheets or PDF and all that stuff. So I've kept all these four files in one folder on my Google Drive folder. Now I've not made any icon for Google Drive. So I have to open my apps, all apps folder. To go to all apps again, I can use my keyboard, but I'll have to use multiple keystrokes. Instead of that, I'm just going to use my 2-finger bottom to up swipe, and it should open my
App list.
app list.
Search apps edit box.
So again, you should be smart. Which things will work faster with your swipe? You should use that. Which things will work faster with your keyboard? You should use that. So I'm going to find Drive.
Drive in grid 22 rows, 5 columns.
Right. So there I found Drive, and I'm going to double tap to open that. I can use Alt Enter also over here.
Drive. Google Drive.
So as you heard, Google Drive is now open. So again, we are going to go to the top left of the screen by using Alt Control left arrow to understand the screen of Drive for those who are using Drive for the first time.
Search in Drive.
So when you use Alt Control left arrow, your focus goes on the search option, which is the top left icon. Now to understand what options are there or what are the different features on Drive, I'm going to use Alt right arrow so that I'll be covering the top row of Google Drive.
More navigation options button.
So this is more navigation options. We don't want to go in there right now.
Sign in as Homiyar gdr.homiyar@gmail.com.
That is my
Google
email
One account.
ID.
Open account menu. Create button.
This is create. So if I want to open a new Google Docs or a Google Sheet or a Google Slides, I can go in there. I'll show you that later.
Selected My Drive tab, 1 of 2 in list 2 items.
So these are the tabs. I can change my tab also from here.
Computers tab, 2 of 2.
So if I double tap, Alt Enter on this, it should select the Computers tab. We don't want to do that because we want to go to some folder which is there down there. So now I'm going to press Alt down arrow.
Viewers grid button, 1 of 7 in list 7 items.
So that is Viewers grid. I'm going to press Alt down arrow.
More actions for keyboard demo button, 2 of 7.
So now this is the options for a folder called keyboard demo. This is the folder that I'm looking for, but this is the options. So I'm going to go Alt left here.
Keyboard demo folder, modified the 18th of June.
And it is telling me this is the keyboard demo folder. I want to go in there because all the files are kept in here. So I'm going to press Alt Enter.
Showing items 1 to 8 of 8.
So it told me there are 8 items in this. And I'm going to press Alt Control Left to go to the top again.
Create button.
So again, the create button is over here. We don't want to do that right now. I'm going to press Alt down arrow now to go to the file list.
Selected files tab 5 of 4 in list 4 items.
I'm going to press down arrow.
More option. Sort by name 1 of 8 in Untitled document Google Docs modified the 21st of July. Viewers grid button 1 of 8. Untitled document Google Docs modified the 21st of July 2 of 8.
So this is the first item. I don't want to open this right now. I'm going to press Alt down arrow.
More actions for Untitled document button. More actions for the Global Book Famine for People with Disabilities Docs button 3 of 8.
So this is the third file. I'm going to press Alt left arrow to go to the title of the book.
The Global Book Famine for People with Disabilities Docs Microsoft Word modified the 26th of June 2016.
I'm just looking for a PDF file which is above this. Let me press Alt up arrow.
More actions for Untitled document button 2 of 8.
It's below there.
More actions for the Global Book Famine for People with Disabilities. More actions for reading programs in the digital age Docs button 4 of 8. More actions for inclusion ALCY4J web. More actions for evaluation of performance for use of. More actions for BOOKSHARE overview PPTX button 7 of 8. More actions for BNETECH overview 1.pdf button 8 of 8.
There it is. This is the PDF file.
BNETECH overview 1.pdf PDF modified the 6th of January 2016.
Right? So now we all know that PDF is very difficult to read. We'll have to use, normally we use InVision, AI or Keybo or ID Pro or Voice Dream Reader to use PDF files. Because the inbuilt options like Drive Viewer or other options which come inbuilt, which sighted people use, they are not pretty accessible. So even here, we will have to open this file using either InVision or Keybo. To do that, if I double tap directly on this file right now, it will open it in the default file format. But to show you various file formats, I'm going to use the options over here, that is Alt right arrow.
More actions for BNETECH overview 1.pdf button.
So that means there are some more options. I'm going to choose open with in this. I'm going to first open this.
BNETECH overview 1.pdf. Share in list 17 items BNETECH overview.
17 options. I'm going to use my Alt right arrow to find open with.
Add to start. Make available offline. Link sharing off. Copy link. Make a copy. Send a copy. Open with.
There it is. Open with. So I'm going to open with. I'm going to press Alt Enter.
Drive. Open with InVision AI. Open with InVision AI. Open with InVision AI.
So this is my first selection, open with InVision AI. But I'm going to show you other options which are there on my phone. So I'm going to press Alt down arrow.
Just once button. WhatsApp checking for new messages.
If I press just once, it should open it right away. But we don't do it right now. I'll open it later.
Use a different app heading 1 of 9 in list 9 items.
So I'm going to show you these other options. I'm pressing Alt down arrow.
Drive PDF viewer 2 of 9.
See, Drive PDF viewer, it is not accessible. I'm pressing.
Open with InVision AI out of list. Just once button. Use a different app heading. Drive PDF viewer 2 of 9. Own Drive PDF viewer 3 of 9.
This is own Drive PDF viewer.
Amazon Kindle 4 of 9.
Kindle, again, that is sometimes accessible, sometimes not.
ID Pro 5 of 9.
This is good, ID Pro. So those who have ID Pro instead of InVision AI, you can open this file over here.
Keybo 6 of 9.
Those who are using Keybo, you can use that.
PDF viewer 7 of 9.
This is not accessible.
Reader 8 of 9.
This is Voice Dream Reader, very accessible.
Word 9 of 9.
And you can also open the PDF file in Word if you have got an Office 365 license of Microsoft Word. That is also accessible. But I have found that Keybo, Voice Dream Reader, and InVision AI are the 3 best options available. So I'm going to go right back top. I'm not going to do Alt right arrow. I'm going to use Alt Control left arrow.
Open with InVision AI out of list.
So it's saying open with InVision AI. I'm just going to Alt down arrow, open once.
Just once button.
And I'm going to press Alt Enter.
InVision AI. Navigate up button, Envision AI.
So you heard that little sound, music sound, which meant that Envision AI ran an OCR on the file and it has opened the PDF file in front of me. Now, as usual, we are going to use Alt Control left arrow to go to the top of the page or top of the screen.
Navigate up button.
That is navigate up button. Now I'm going to press Alt right arrow.
Envision AI.
So it's telling me the name of the application, Alt right arrow.
Moro. 011010 Olona.
That is the file number.
Benetech.
That is the heading. Now I'm going to press Alt down arrow because I've come in the main file space. I'm pressing Alt down arrow.
Technology serving humanity.
So it is reading. I'm going to press Alt down arrow.
Benetech is a technology non-profit that develops software applications to address pressing social needs. Based in Palo Alto, California, Benetech was created in 2000 on the belief that the benefits of technology must reach all of humanity. Its social enterprise business model aims to launch and scale financially sustainable projects that measure success in the number of lives changed for the better.
Right. So I press Control to stop it. So if I press Alt down arrow, it will read paragraph by paragraph. Now if I want to read word by word, so what I'll do is I'll use the command Alt, Control, Shift, right arrow or left arrow. Alt, Control, Shift, and then right arrow, left arrow, which will read word by word. So I'm pressing Alt, Control, Shift with my left hand and right arrow with my right hand.
Benetech is a technology non-profit that develops software.
Correct? So it got read word by word. Now imagine how difficult it would have been for you to read word by word if you're only using your touch. But with this Alt, Control, Shift, right arrow, you're able to read it word by word in a PDF file. So important. Now if I want to read the spelling of this word software. So now I'm going to use my keyboard command Alt, Shift, right arrow. I'm not pressing Control. If I use Control, it will read the word, but Alt, Shift, right arrow will read the characters. So Alt, Shift, right arrow.
Space. A. Alpha. P. P. L. I. C. A. T. I. O. N. S. Space.
Correct? So you read the word, the spelling, applications. Now, if I want to go to the next para, I'll press Alt down arrow.
Our program.
There it is.
Technology tools and services that provide access to information for people who have disabilities that prevent them from using standard print. These
Okay.
include individual.
So this is how you read paragraph by paragraph, word by word, character by character. Now, there are other options also within Envision AI which you could also see. So I'm going to press Alt, Control, right arrow to go to the bottom of the screen.
Export text button.
So I can export
Message Manaranjan Jar.
the text as TXT from here using Envision AI, or if I press Alt left arrow,
Go to page button.
I can go directly to a page. I can press Alt enter here and then enter the page number, and it will take me to a particular page in the file.
Play button.
Alt left arrow, it comes to the play button. Now this play button is going to play continuously using the Envision AI reading command. So I'm going to press Alt enter over here.
Pause. Moro. 011010 Olona. Benetech. Technology serving humanity. Benetech is a technology non-profit that develops software applications to address pressing social needs.
Right.
Based in Palo Alto, California,
Right,
Benetech was created in 2000. Play.
I can stop it using the Alt enter button again because it was pause button and then it became play button again. If I press Alt left arrow,
Page 1 of 1.
it's telling me the page number, right? And there is only one page. So I cannot use the go to page command over here in this file. So this is what I can do in a PDF. I'm going to go back using my Alt backspace command.
Text.
And Alt backspace command is going to bring me to the main page of Envision AI. If you remember when you saw the demo of Envision AI, or if you used it, then this is text. And if I use Alt right arrow,
Selected text. General.
General.
Help.
So these are all the Envision AI screen. So we don't want this. We want to go back to the drive folder. So I'm going Alt backspace again.
Drive. More actions for BNETECH overview 1.pdf button.
So again, you have come exactly where you use the more options to select open with. So your navigation is going to be pretty standard. From where you go, you will come back to that same point. Now I'm going to select another file type. So I'm just pressing Alt left tab.
BNETECH overview 1.
This is the PDF. I'm going to press up arrow.
BOOKSHARE overview PPTX Microsoft PowerPoint model.
Excellent. So this is a PowerPoint file. Now for viewing PowerPoint, you don't need any additional software. You just need Google Slides, which is free. And you can easily use Google Slides. So I'm going to press Alt Enter. I'm not going to use Open With because Slides is the only option which I have on my phone to use PowerPoint. So I'm going to use Alt Enter.
Drive. BOOKSHARE overview PPTX. Navigate up button. BOOKSHARE overview PPTX. Open BOOKSHARE overview PPTX with editing permission.
When you open any PowerPoint or docs or sheets, please be a little patient because you're using your phone. The processing speed of the phone compared to your laptop would be very different. So allow the file to open. Don't keep on hitting your keyboard before the file opens. Otherwise, your programs might crash. So I didn't do anything. I allowed the file to open. It said it is open now. So I'm now going to press Alt Control left arrow to go to the top of the page.
Navigate up button.
From here, I can use my Alt down arrow directly.
Message 2 new messages.
I can directly go to the main area of the slides, but I want to show you what is there in the top row of the Google Slides. So I'm going to press Alt right arrow.
Undo and redo button.
So if I do some editing, this is undo redo, which is equivalent to your save and undo button.
Start slideshow button.
This is slideshow. For those who have used PowerPoint, they know that in PowerPoint also by pressing F5, you get a slideshow. This is a slideshow button.
Share button.
Using share, you can share this file with anyone. You can share it via WhatsApp or Drive or email it to someone, do anything you want.
Insert button.
You can insert different elements of PowerPoint over here using the insert button. If you are using PowerPoint, you will understand how to insert different slides or how to insert different objects within a slide, title slides or two comparison slide, whatever you want, all of that is here inside the insert button.
Not ticked comments button.
You can even provide comments if you want to review somebody's slides and give some comments on it.
More options button.
And you have lots of options. These are similar to the options what we saw when we were opening the PDF. Make a copy, mark as and mark and all that. If I press Alt right arrow,
Canvas.
it says canvas. Canvas means now we are in the slide area. Now if I press Alt down arrow, I'll come into the slide.
Slide 3 of 17. What is Bookshare? Title. Custom Bullet. World's largest online accessible library of copyrighted ebooks for people with print disabilities. Custom Bullet helps 385,547 members of all ages keep on reading, despite blindness, low vision, or other disabilities. Body. Slide number 3. Slide number. Layout. Content 1 column. 3 objects on the page.
I told you everything that was there on this slide, including
Message 3 new messages.
Body and slide number and everything it told me. If I press Alt right arrow, it will take me to slide 4 and start reading it.
Slide 4 of 17. What does Bookshare offer? Title. Custom Bullet. 24/7 access to 378 titles, books and periodicals, including in Swahili and Hindi and other languages. Custom Bullet. That's nearing 1 book for every member we gain. Plus 385,000 books. Custom Bullet. Free and low-cost reading tools.
So I can stop it reading anytime by pressing Control. I can also use my
Page.
Alt right arrow to navigate to different pages. I can go anywhere.
Slide 5 of 17. In partnership.
Right? So I can use my commands to go anywhere in the PowerPoint and review a PowerPoint. Somebody is unmuted. Can you mute, please? Now, if I want to use the slideshow, I'm going to press Alt Control left arrow to go right back to the top.
Navigate up
and
button.
press Alt right arrow.
Undo and redo button. Start slideshow
There
button.
is a slideshow option, so I can press Alt Enter here to start the slideshow. I'm just going to press Alt Enter.
Pop-up window. Selected present on this device. One of three. In list three
There are
items.
three options which come up. How do you want to present the slide? You want to present it on this device, or you want to present
Selected present to a meeting. 2 of 3.
to a meeting?
Selected present to scheduled meetings. Show calendar events.
Right.
3 of 3.
So these are different ways of presenting. So I will use the first option.
Selected present on this device. 1 of 3.
And if I press Alt Enter here, it should start my slideshow.
Slides. Loading. Slides. Slide 1 of 17. Ebooks and reading tools for people with print disabilities outside of the United States.
Now the only challenge here using Google Slides is when you use a keyboard, you cannot read, or it will not announce the text in the slide. It will only announce the title of the slide. So if I press just the right arrow, it will go to slide 2.
Page change. Slide 2 of 17. BOOKSHARE. Currently presenting slide 2 of 17.
But it is not reading the content which it read when we were in the slide layout view. So if you are presenting as a blind person, you should know what is there under each heading, or you should make your own notes on a different braille page or an audio note or whatever way you want to keep your notes on. Because this is a little limitation of this program where it is not announcing the details on each slide when in the slideshow. But when it is in the layout mode, where you are designing a slide, it will read everything to you. If you go right arrow, it will also read.
Page change. Slide 3 of 17. What is bookshare?
It will only read that much. If I use down arrow, it will go to slide 4.
Page change. Slide 4 of 17. What does bookshare offer?
Correct? So to come out of this, escape.
Page change. Slide 5.
Sometimes it will not behave. So in those circumstances, you can also use your back command on your phone.
Current slide. Double tap to go to next.
So I've come out of the slides.
BOOKSHARE overview PPTX. Slide 6 of 17. For India. Title. Custom bullet.
I'm coming out of
Drive. BOOKSHARE overview PPTX Microsoft.
So this was about how to see a PowerPoint slide. Now I'll show you another file type, and that is,
Evaluation of performance for use of technology. XLSX Microsoft Excel. Modified the 30.
so this is an Excel SX file. Now most of you who have tried to use Excel on your phone with just the touch must have experienced how difficult it is to navigate from cell to cell and read the data if it's a large Excel sheet. So let us open this in Google Slides, Google Sheets.
Drive. Evaluation of performance for use of technology. XLSX. Data. Loading. Sheet data activated. 20 rows, 6 columns. Loading completed.
So it has loading completed. So now I can use my Alt Control left arrow to go back to the top.
Navigate up button.
And I can use Alt right arrow to see what's there in the first row.
Undo button.
You saw that in Google Slides also when you're using the PowerPoint.
Redo button.
Redo was also there.
Share button.
This was also there.
More options button.
This was also there. So the top row generally, if you're using docs or slides or sheets, is almost the same. I'm going to the next row.
All sheets menu button.
So this is for slides. So if this, you can see all the, if there are many sheets in this Excel, you can go to sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, whatever number of sheets are there. This file has only one sheet, so I'm not going in there.
Selected data.
And now you're in the data area.
Add new sheet button.
You can add a sheet, right? So these are the commands which you get. Now you can come down.
More options button. Add new sheet button. More options button.
Just coming down.
Selected A6.
Now my focus is in the main Excel region. Now look at the ease with which I can go around. I'm pressing up arrow, only up arrow, not alt up arrow, only up arrow.
Selected A5, 6 has formula.
Right? So I'm in A5 if I want to go up.
Selected A4, 12 has formula. Selected A3, number of phone users.
So this sheet is regarding the number of phone users compared to number of traditional blind users in a school, and
NDTV News Sensex slip.
it is describing how the users who are using technology were scoring better marks compared to those who are not using technology. So this is the analysis data of that file. So now I'm going to use right arrow to go to B.
Selected B3 phone use marks.
Right. So this is phone use marks.
Selected C3 marks class 6.
So for class 6, if we want to see the data for people who have used phones versus who have not used phones and the results for them, I'm going to press down to go to the next in the C.
Selected C4 60% has formula.
So for those who are using phone, it is saying 60%. For those who are not using phone,
Selected C5 54% has formula.
so the overall marks for those students were 54%. So this is how you can analyze an Excel sheet, which was very difficult to do when we were only using touch. So a combination of touch and type is going to make life very, very simple. So I'm going to come out of this file, close this.
Finished editing. Evaluation of performance for use of technology XLSX.
So it says finish editing. It's not said drive. That means here I can either do undo if I have done some changes, or I can, if I go back, it will close the file and save changes.
Drive. Evaluation of performance for use of technology.
So I'll come back to drive. Now let's open a Word file.
Inclusion ALCY4J webinar invitation.txt text
Now this
file.
is a TXT file, which is pretty similar to Word. So I'm going to show you Word.
Reading programs in the digital age docs. Microsoft Word modified the 21st of June 4 of 8.
So I'm going to open this using Google Docs.
Opened reading programs in the digital age docs with editing permission. Reading programs in the digital age docs. Viewport view reading programs in the digital age docs.
Correct? Now the file is open in front of you.
Programs in the.
Now when you open Docs, your focus will be in the edit portion. So now if I press down arrow, it will start reading the file.
Digital age the.
This is the heading, so it is reading only a few character words.
Case 4. Print digital. Format neutrality. 16 draft. Introduction. New line.
I'm just using down arrow so that we can hear the.
Aspiring readers and learners need. Books, yet. Access to relevant reading materials. Has long been a barrier to education.
Correct? So we are able to read the docs file. Now, see what we can do within this docs file. For example, if you want to select certain text, so I'm going to use my standard Windows selection command, Alt Control Right arrow.
A selected. Barrier selected. To selected. Education selected and selected. Lifelong selected.
I can use Control C to copy this text.
Copied selection to clipboard.
Or I can, once it is selected, I can use my Alt up arrow.
Format button.
I can use the format and change the format. So Alt up arrow means I've gone into the ribbon area. If you are using Word, you'll understand this. My focus is now in the ribbon area. So I can use the format,
Email Manaranjan Java.
or I can use Alt left arrow.
Redo button.
I can redo.
Format button.
I can
Insert button.
insert. I can do everything. Standard way of working. But this, imagine if you're doing with your touch, it would have taken so much of your time to just do this much of things. Just to select those 4 words and go to the format option, it would have taken you 10 minutes to do that. But with your keyboard, you can do it so quickly. Now let's see what options you get under format.
Format button.
I'm just going to press Alt Enter.
English India QWERTY keyboard hidden. Pop-up window. Selected text tab 1 of 2 pop-up window.
So see, there is.
Paragraph tab 2 of 2.
So there are 2 options over here, text or paragraph. So let's see what is there under text.
Selected text tab 1 of 2.
So now I'm going to press Alt down arrow.
Not ticked italic button in pager.
So the text is still selected. If I tick this, it will convert that into italic.
Style button. Normal text open sub palette.
So this is styles and it's saying open sub palette. That means it's a sub menu. If I press enter on this, it will open a sub menu.
Italic applied to selection. Ticked. Font button. Helvetica Neue. Open subpalette.
Right? So this is font.
Text size 12. Decrease text size button.
I can decrease text.
Text color button. Current select. Highlight color button. Current selected. Clear formatting button.
I can do all this over here. Or I can just use escape to come out of this.
Text color button. Current selected color black. System status change keyboard. Multilingual typing keyboard. Showing English India QWERTY keyboard. Reading programs in the digital age docs. Format button. Reading programs in the digital age docs.
Okay. And my focus is on the format button. I'll press all down arrow.
Editing edit box.
And I've come back into the edit area. I'm pressing down arrow only.
Inner barrier to education and lifelong unselected.
Now this was selected, so now it is saying unselected. So this is what I want to try to show you, that the selection will not change unless you use your arrow keys within the text, similar to what you do in Microsoft Word. Is exactly the same over here. Even if I use my simple command of Control A, it should select all text. Right? It didn't say that.
Reading programs in the digital age. The case for print. Digital format neutrality. November 2016 draft. Image alt text description. https://lh3.googleisaccontent.com/uk_54u.
So it's selected and it has started reading the selection immediately. Right? So this is also so simple. Let me come out of this.
Reading programs in the digital age. The case.
By pressing my coming out command.
English India QWERTY keyboard hidden.
The command keyboard is hidden.
Google Docs saving reading programs in the digital age docs. Drive.
Google Docs saving. That means whatever changes we did in terms of italicizing, it has saved it. We don't have a Control S over here. As I said, if I want to undo the changes, I have to go up right at the top and press the undo button, and that should undo the changes. Now let's go and see what you can find in a blank document.
Create button out of list.
So if I use the create button, if I press Alt Enter here.
Create new. Folder, row 1, column 1, in grid 2 rows, 3 columns, create new.
Right, so I can create a folder.
Upload column 2.
I can upload the file from.
Scan column 3.
I can even scan a file over here using the Google scan of OCR options.
Google Docs, row 2, column 1.
I can open a new Google Docs.
Google Sheets, column 2.
A new Excel, Google Sheets.
Google Slides, column 3.
Right, and I can open a Google Slides also over here. So under the create, you will get all these options. I'm pressing back.
Drive. Create button, drive.
And if I show you one blank.
More actions for BNETECH overview 1. More actions for BOOK. BO. Inclusion ALCY. Reading programs in the digital. The global book famine for untitled document Google Docs modified the 21st of July.
I'm going to open an untitled document, so that will give you a good idea. I'm just going to press enter on this.
Drive. Opened untitled document with editing permission. Untitled document. Editing edit box. Untitled document.
So this has opened the document, and my focus, as I said, is in the edit area, so I can directly type over here whatever I want to type. So let's type something.
T space A space E S T A T 0.
Now I have deliberately made some spelling.
Full stop.
Now I want to see what the Google Docs does.
3x3 table entered row 1 column 1. Table exited this year deck 0 J strat 90.
So it has typed all garbage. If you type properly, it will type properly also. If I want to do undo, I can select all.
This year deck 0 J strat 90. 3x3 table start row 1. Selection deleted.
And I can delete everything. If I want to type properly, I can type properly also.
T H S space A D E K K M O N S T O N. Full stop. This is a demonstration.
Correct. Again, I can go. I can use end.
New line.
I can go to the new line.
New line.
Press enter to go to the new line. All remains the same. I can again go back. Alt up arrow.
Format button.
To format, I can go right arrow to insert. Now this time, let's see insert.
Insert button.
So let's see what options we have.
Pop-up window. English India QWERTY keyboard. Selected link 1 of 8 in list 8
I
items.
can insert a link.
Showing comment disabled 2 of 8. Image open subpalette. Table open subpalette. Horizontal line 5 of 8.
So if I want to just draw a line, I can draw a line. Let's insert a table.
Table open subpalette 4 of 8.
So I'll press.
Showing English India QWERTY keyboard. System status change keyboard. Multilingual typing keyboard. Editing text edit box.
So it has inserted a table.
Link edit box.
Sorry.
Editing text edit box. Link. Insert link. Editing text edit box. Link edit box.
Where did the table go? I press.
Insert link.
So I can just,
Showing English India QWERTY
just
keyboard.
come out of this
English India QWERTY keyboard hidden.
and do it again.
Text edit box. Editing link. System status change keyboard. Multilingual typing keyboard. English India QWERTY keyboard hidden.
Where is my phone?
Format button.
There.
Insert button. Pop-up window. Selected link 1 of 8 in list. Comment disabled. Image open subpalette. Table open subpalette 4 of 8. Email Sushant Banker read 10th. Table palette.
So now it has opened the table options.
Number of columns 3. Decrease number of columns
So I
button.
can, it's number of columns 3,
Number of rows 3. Decrease number of rows button. Insert table
and I
button.
can do the insert table over here. So it will insert a table.
3 by 3 table inserted. System status change keyboard. Multilingual typing keyboard. Showing English India QWERTY keyboard. Untitled document. Insert button. Untitled document.
So my focus is on the insert button. I'll have to press Alt down arrow to.
Editing edit box.
So I'm back in the edit box.
Row 2.
I'm in row 2.
Row
I'm
1.
in row 1. I can type here. I can do, say, this is for a name, right?
N-A-M-E.
And then I can use my
Column 2.
column 2, and I can say marks,
M-A-R-S.
right? So everything is possible using your keyboard. Okay, so I'm going to select all and
This is a demonstration.
delete all
Selection
this,
deleted.
and then I'll close this file so that it remains blank file.
English India QWERTY keyboard hidden.
Keyboard is hidden, and
Finished editing.
it says finish editing, and
Drive.
back into my
Untitled document
drive.
Google Docs
And
modified
I
the
can
21st of
close
July.
my drive also,
Sort by name 1 of 7
and
in
I'm
list
in
7
my
items.
all apps.
App list.
Back, in,
Showing items 1 to 30 of
back
100.
into my home.
Home screen 1 of 4.
Now the last command I want to show you, because we have opened so many programs, so many things, we need to close everything. So we need to go into recent items. So Alt Control R.
Recent apps. Calculator 1 of 2 in list
Right?
2
So
items.
I'm going to use my Alt left arrow here to.
Showing items. Outlook has 6 messages. Contacts. App list. Drive 2 of 2. Calculator 1. Clear all button.
There it is, clear all, and I'm going to press Alt Enter, everything.
Home screen 1 of 4.
Okay.
Times now.
And we are back to times now on home screen 1. And let's check the time by pressing Alt up arrow, Alt Control up arrow.
Battery 64% notification.
And we just go to the other end of the
4 p.m.
4 p.m. Perfect. Right. So let's open up for questions now.
Please raise your hands before unmuting yourself, and you can directly ask your questions.
What is the participation number right now, Mark?
Sorry,
It's around 16, sir.
sir, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. You're audible.
Sir, I am Jayachandran from Chennai. Sir, in the middle only I can able to join actually. It was told that 4 p.m. the class was, but what happened was in my Bluetooth keyboard I am using to typing it actually, but I am unable to do any action. What I have to do? Any of the action set by you, right from the beginning.
So you don't have to do anything when you're using a Bluetooth keyboard. You have to learn the keyboard commands.
Okay, sir. What I say, sir, you told some commands, right? Alt, control, right, arrow, left,
Yes.
arrow, all this.
So
It is
all-
not functioning in my mobile actually, but it is while typing in the WhatsApp, it is using it. I am able to type it actually.
So that means your Bluetooth keyboard is not compatible with your phone. Bluetooth keyboard will have these issues sometimes because these keyboards come for different.
KHUSHRU.
models. They come for Android, iPhone, Windows. So before purchasing, I always suggest that please read the review, or if you're buying it from a store, physically buying it, please take your phone, pair the phone and use it before you buy it.
Okay.
It is
Right.
always advisable to purchase a wired keyboard if you want to use it with your mobile phone.
Absolutely. It's generally better. The cheaper Bluetooth keyboards will not work. The keyboards available for about 1,500, 2,000, those generally work very well with your mobile. But still, I'm not guaranteeing anything. Please check before buying, read the reviews and buy. Any
Is
other?
your doubt clarified, sir?
So it's logic at K480 only.
It could be anything, sir.
It costs around 2,000 rupees actually. Okay.
I agree. So you probably might have bought something which is for iPhone and not Android. That could also be a possibility. Check its configuration. Or there is a switch on the keyboard. There's a command to activate it in Android mode. Just check all that. Some keyboards have these fancy features, like you push a button, then it works for Android. If you push another button, it works for iPhone.
Okay.
They are programmed in that way.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Read the documentation. Any other questions from anybody else?
Hi sir, good evening. This is Ravi Kiran from Hyderabad.
Yes, Ravi, go ahead.
Sir, I have a doubt. When we connect the keyboard to the mobile and when we
HDFC
on
Bank
the
installers.
OTG option on, when we turn on the OTG option, it's not, the cursor is not moving at all, sir. When we connect OTG through wire keyboard to the mobile.
Yes, and you are using Android 10?
No, sir, Android 8.0.
8.0. What is the make of the phone?
Vivo.
Vivo. No guarantee for Vivo, sir. Vivo is a hopeless thing when it comes to blind. I'm using the word hopeless for the simple reason it has its own fancy UI. I'm just going to stop screen share so it doesn't disturb everyone.
Yeah, you can stop the screen share.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is the biggest problem. But I would still suggest one more thing that you could try. In some circumstances, in the security under the developer options, you will find USB disabled. Just go and enable that and see after that if it works for you or not.
Okay.
And also there is one more thing that I would recommend. I mean, if you have Gboard installed on your phone, what you can alternatively do is, so what you can alternatively do is you can go into settings and you can go into language and input. And in that, after you connect this physical keyboard using the OTG, you also have an option for, I mean, generally you have options for virtual keyboard and Google voice typing. But when you connect the keyboard, you also have an option for configuring the physical keyboard. So if a keyboard is from a reputed manufacturer, if the external keyboard that you're using is from a good manufacturer, this option should also be displayed most probably on your Gboard settings as well.
Okay, thank you.
Select it over there. Go in and select the keyboard, right? And just play around with it and see if it works.
Yes.
Okay, okay, thank you.
The person who asked before, Jayachandran, or what was his name?
Jayachandran.
You could also try this. Even your Bluetooth keyboard will be shown under language and input, under Gboard. Yes. And you should play around with it and see if it's stopping or if it's not allowed over there, or give it permissions or something. Whatever it requires, give it. Any other questions? I would like to add here one more thing is, for those people who seriously want to use keyboard, you should also refer to the keyboard commands for Google Docs. or sheets or slides, depending upon what you want to use. There's a whole list of long of commands specifically for Google Docs, where you can jump from table to table, or you can jump from paragraph to paragraph. All that you do in Microsoft Word is possible in Docs also. But the keystrokes are sometimes a little different. Sometimes it is all the same. Control CV is all the same. But sometimes it is different, especially for table navigation and all that. It's a little different. So please refer to that. To get into accessibility in any of the Google products, use Alt and /. That is the slash next to your full stop. One more piece of information: if you want to open the global context menu or the local context menu from the keyboard, even that is possible. Use Alt space for global and Alt Shift space for local context menu. That's one thing I forgot to show you. Alt space and Alt Shift space.
So any other questions, guys?
So today is, I think, our last session in this series, Uma?
Yeah, last session in this series, sir. And
Good. So,
yeah, so I would also like to add a small disclaimer as far as this particular webinar is concerned. Our idea behind this webinar, I mean, I would like to add this on behalf of both the Bookshare and also on behalf of Voice of VIP. See, the webinar, the point of this webinar is to not tell you that, keyboard with smartphone can substitute a proper laptop. I mean, if you have a proper laptop budget, like if you have 35,000, go ahead, buy a laptop. It's going to unlock a lot of functionality. But there are a few people, I've heard it from a few people in my acquaintance, visually impaired people only. They have said that they don't have a good enough budget for purchasing a laptop. So if you are someone like that, and in case you want to work on the go, at least as far as the typing and navigation is concerned, but purchasing a keyboard and an OTG cable should provide you at least 20-30% of the functionality of your laptop. So that is the message that we want to send out from this webinar.
good.
Yeah. So any other questions, guys? So okay, seems like we don't have any questions. So
We can end.
yeah, I can end. And Dr. Homiyar, thank you so much for all the 5 webinars that you have taken. And I would like to also thank each and everyone at Bookshare. Thank you, Zainab. Thank you, Sanjog. And thank you each and everyone who has been behind the scenes. So I would like to thank each and everyone. It's been a good journey. And the next webinar that we are going to have is by Enable India. It's on careers in private sector for visually impaired. So this is Vishnu here from Team Voice of VIP, and I'm signing off for now. Thank you for being patient and tuning into our webinar.
Have you also recorded this, Vishnu? Or
we have also recorded this.
Thank you, sir. Okay, good luck to everybody. Bye. Thanks for inviting us.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So guys, I'll see you directly in the WhatsApp group.